Here is Barkley, left side, big hole, Saquon Barkley! Uh-oh! Barkley! Goodbye! Dunk it in. Doncic, 47!
I'll give him a dunk. On a night you had 47 points, you get the benefit of the doubt.
Moss the back, Karras the snap, Moss the block. Burrow going deep, he's got him! Touchdown! Jamar Chase!
LeBron leaked out, they didn't see him. Here he is down court. It's up and in! Will it count? LeBron James at the buzzer! 23-yard completion. Here goes Taylor. With Pierce in front. Touchdown, Colts.
Curry gets free. Curry puts up a three. Bang! Bang! He ties the game with 6.3 remaining.
Mahomes flushed out again all the way back. Turning the corner. Fires downfield. Caught. Touchdown.
Timeout, SGA. Probing, piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead, and SGA knocks it down with just under a second to go. Hit, throw. Oh, come on! Justin Jefferson, you gotta be kidding. Makes it look so routine. Greatest catch that never existed in NFL history.
Edwards puts up a three. It's good! Anthony Edwards once again. Edwards electricity here in game 4. Here's a first and goal. And he's signaling as he backpedals to the 30. Oh, what a catch! Touchdown, Baltimore!
Is it Brandon? Giannis says no. Back the other way, Trent. Giannis inside. At both ends.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Matty Ice here with Profit Props. This is the Sharp Side. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. As always, we will recap yesterday first. Pardon me. Just bringing the banner up here. Dante DiVincenzo, our first bet, is the only straight that we lost yesterday. I do believe he finished with like 7 assists. So that was a bad read. Everything else cashed. Julius Randle under 26.5 PA cashed. Devin Booker under 26.5 points cashed. Cade Cunningham cashed, although that one was a sweat. Duncan 3+ cash, Kuminga cashed, and then we did miss our half a unit parlay. 5-1 overall on the straights, 0-1 on the lay. We've been absolutely crushing the NBA straights lately. 13-4 run. Just absolutely crushing the NBA. Up about 24 units. I'll have a full recap posted in the next update that I do, the next recap. Not going to lie, I got a little behind with the holidays on the full year to date. So I'm about 6 days behind. I'll go back and get everything, but I know we're well up even in just those last 6 days, and we were up about 20 or 21 the last time I recapped. I recap every day, but I haven't done the year to date in a couple of days just because of the holidays. If you're just now tapping in on Twitter, man, drop a like, drop a retweet, help me grow the brand, help me grow the page. Shout outs to those who have already. Mom Who Bets, appreciate the likes and the retweets. Ross, appreciate the likes and the retweets. Bodega Beat DFS, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the like. CJ, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the like. I do have 2 plays out already, specifically for the NBA. I also have 2 plays out already for the NFL. Let me add all of those to the banner. Brett, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the like. Let me get the NFL plays up first and the retweet there, Brett. 2 NFL plays. I'll go over them each briefly, and then we'll get right into the NBA slate for today. First play was Christian McCaffrey. I do have a write-up out on each of these. If you haven't already, drop a like and a retweet there. I appreciate all the engagement recently. First play was CMC over 37.5 reception yards. Second play was Trey McBride. Anytime touchdown. We also sprinkle 2+ TDs. Okay, let me add those to the banner. Go through my 2 NFL plays real quick, and then we'll shoot over to the NBA and see what I have there. As the NFL season goes on, the lines get more and more efficient, so my plays do tend to dwindle. Miss Herway, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate all the support recently. Appreciate the likes and appreciate the retweets. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We've been crushing. Let's keep crushing. I appreciate you tapping in every single day. Let me remove this, and then we're going to go. If I could type this morning. Christian, receiving yards, McCaffrey. Okay, so he's over this line in every single game this season. And I know that we're getting a super depressed line because of the wind issues that are happening in Cleveland today. Not so much anything other weather related. They did get a bunch of snow over the last couple days. However, they've been able to clear the field, and it's in the mid to high 30s there right now. Similar it is to me. I'm about 120 miles southwest of Cleveland. So I do still deal with the lake effects, just not at the same level that they do. So can I see this on the main app? Let me see if I can see this on the desktop, I should say. No, you cannot see this on the desktop. But however, in the Props.Cash mobile app, you're able to see that over 90% of Christian McCaffrey's targets come from within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. And he's also 11th in the NFL in total in receiving yards. You heard that correctly. He's also first in this team in a mile in targets, receptions, yards, and in all of those categories on a per game basis as well. Meaning he's going to get a lot of targets. I do think there's going to be a lot of dump offs just because not only is Cleveland a terrific defense, the wind issues over the top is going to, really reduce how much of the field Brock Purdy has to play with. Over this in every game, as I said, I do believe today is going to see 5, 6, 7 targets, and I do believe he soars over this line with no issues. I actually played 37.5. So it looks like FanDuel, MGM both moved down to 36.5, and I obviously love that spot as well. Little better price than we got. My second play is going to be Trey McBride anytime touchdown. And I'll explain this more and more. But in the games, starting with Jacoby Brissett, which are these 6, he's over in all but one of those games. Versus Jacksonville last week, he didn't have any red zone targets there. I just think there's money coming in on the under because people are overplaying the weather. I think there's a lot of rec money on the under here. And generally speaking, sports books try to position their lines to where more money comes in on the over just because at least more rec play comes in on the over because that's what recreational gamblers generally bet. If you tail me, you'll bet unders, but most people are mostly betting overs. I think tonight is the flip side of that. More rec money's coming in on the under. Sharps have probably got down what they wanted to already, not expecting this much of a movement, or they're doing their best and going to bet the over about 10 minutes before post. I'll be going over NBA. So I'm not too concerned if I lose a yard here. But no, the reverse line movement doesn't worry me. And Christian, I think you've been pretty tapped in. I mean, you see the track record. The line moves against me. We normally bet it twice, and then we normally win it. So, no, I'm not afraid of the reverse line movement. I will say my NBA reads are just better, right? Like I can win in the NFL. We're up about 11, 12 units. We've done well. We had one bet last week and we won it. So, but NBA, I mean, it's belt to ass. You already know. So I don't even mean to sound cocky. It's just that's how the NBA goes. Anyways, Trey McBride, anytime touchdown. Let's talk about the red zone targets. He's averaging 1.9 per year. I do like the mobile app a little bit better to show you this because you can see that he has 24 red zone targets. The next closest player is maybe like 14 on the team. He's actually second in the entire NFL in red zone targets, just behind Devontae Adams, who we know what kind of year he's having. Trey McBride, anytime touchdown, sprinkle quarter unit on the 2+. I got it at plus 130. There's a plus 135 at Fanatics, a plus 136 at Caesars, and if you can get, or I'm sorry, at FanDuel, and if you can get down at Fanatics, there is a plus 150 there. Anything else in the NBA you guys would like me to go through before I move on? It is a somewhat smaller slate. I do have leans. I like Brian Thomas. Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. over 45.5 receiving yards. First game back in a little while. What are they in passing yards allowed? Props.cash, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. M. Knight, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the like, the retweet, and the quote tweet. Shout outs to my guy, M. Knight. You've been tapped in for a while, too. I appreciate you. Yeah, if I hasn't played in a minute, but he's back. What's up, bro? Appreciate you tapping in, John. Appreciate you tapping in. Hopefully the weather's a little warmer than it is up here in the mountains. A-Chain longest rush, we'll look into it. A-Chain longest rush, we will look into it. Damn, do I want to run this Brian Thomas Jr. over, fellas? I project him at 64, which is probably closer to his average. I'm even well over his average here. I might run Brian Thomas Jr. over his yards. $44.5 at FanDuel. Spears receptions. You're as real as it gets in this space. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, bro. Devon A-Chain, longest rush. And then, okay. Let me see if I'm running Brian Thomas Jr. This is like one of two bets I wanted to look into. Oh, my Lord. If ESPN's at 39.5, 120, I'll run it there. And then probably with the intentions of if you have to play it elsewhere, I'll get you an alt on the mobile app. Let me do some stuff here, though. Jacksonville Titans. I mean, it's a divisional game, so I'm not even going to say they're going to run away with it. Did he play they should have played once this season. I know he missed some time. They also could have, they might have two coming up. No, they still have both matchups this season. Okay, interesting. Total receiving yards over under minus 130. Okay, hold on. Doing a little shopping here on Brian Thomas Jr.'s yards. It's 150 at FanDuel, 130 at ESPN. I'm going to run it. Ooh, I love this look. I'm going to run Brian Thomas Jr. over his receiving yards. I'm going to go 39.5, 130 at ESPN. If you don't have ESPN, just run the 40 plus on basically whatever book. Caveat would be only risk one unit if you can't get ESPN. I got to release this and bet this myself, so just give me a second. Okay. Okay. All right. 1 second. Let me get this in the banner as well. And then I'm just going to start going over the requests. If you're just popping in and you have requests, just add them to the banner. King Cabano, appreciate you tapping in, brother. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, let's go in order here. Devon A-Chain, longest rush? Yeah, longest rush. He should be right here somewhere. Rush yards. Oh, Miami game. Rush long. 18.5. 80% snap share last week. Ooh. 21 attempts. Versus New Orleans. Have they played New Orleans this year? No, or at least he didn't play. Hold on. I'm going to shop around possibly. Rushing long. Longest rush. I've got 16, 150. Everyone else is 17, 18.5. FanDuel's got a really weird line there that I might actually take. And Just lay the juice. Let me see something else. Rush attempts, second most in the league. Let me go see. Could they possibly have a positive game script in their pocket here? $5.5-point favorites at home. Would I consider Michael Wilson over 30.5? I'll look into it. Off the top of my head, I don't know. But good guy. Shout outs to Michael Wilson. I met him last year in not Phoenix, Scottsdale. Met him last year in Scottsdale. Him and Zay Flowers. Was a pretty dope night. A-Chain longest rush. I think I might run that FanDuel at 1 unit and just keep it pushing for real. Probably going to run that FanDuel for 1 unit and keep it pushing. FanDuel, NFL. Miami. Rushing props. Longest rush. Yeah, that's where they're at. I'm going to run that for 1 unit. That's an interesting prop. All right, I got that. Yeah, interesting stance, but that FanDuel's taking there. That's 16.5, 148. Looks like he's going to get a lot of attempts as well. So really like this spot. A-Chain's longest rush. I do like that spot a lot, to be honest. Oh, shit. Let me get that over here. If for whatever reason you don't have a FanDuel, I feel like most people do. I do think that line's playable anywhere. All right. Any more requests in the NFL? Tajay Spears receptions. Again, it is a pricey number to lay. We would have to lay 150. What is Jacksonville? I'm going to go to the props.cash mobile app again and see what Jacksonville is in running back receptions allowed. Does that say 32nd? 22nd. That's reception yards, 19th in receptions. What's his yards line? At the current pricing, I mean, honestly, I like both. I lean over that 2.5, even at minus 150. And then I do like his yards as well. I would lean over Tajay Spears' yards as well. Trevor Lawrence, INT. Joel Embiid now listed questionable for today. That's good because he was out, and I was looking at Maxey this morning and didn't run it yet, so I might get a better price. Trevor Lawrence. 1 second. I'm doing a little digging here. Yeah, I think I might run the INTs for Trevor. Yeah, they're averaging 1.1. Yeah, 25-26 season. Tied for third in interceptions. I mean, this seems like a really good line. Trevor Lawrence to throw a pick at -115. We got a 121 at DK, 120 at ESPN, 121 at Rivers. Trevor Lawrence to throw an interception. I mean, I really like this. Looks like they haven't forced one in a couple weeks either. Herbert threw one, Geno threw one, Stafford threw one. Two versus Bo Nix. I'm going to leave this as a lean because I've been pondering on it for a while, but definitely lean over Trevor Lawrence interceptions. Next request was Michael Wilson, 30-plus receiving yards. Probably a little bit of a depressed line for a lay, I'm assuming. Michael Wilson. I mean, yeah, he's been – look at the targets the last two with Brissett, even the last three. So, yeah, that's a great number for a lay. You said – yeah, you have to do it by hand. 40-plus, though. Yeah, or 30-plus. Yeah, absolutely like 35 as a lay piece there. Nico Collins, longest reception. $23.5 is a painted number. Worthy 31, Rice 47, London 30. 26 from old buddy here. I forget how to say his name. Quentin Johnston, 23. Keenan Allen, 30. Same game. Check out Pierce longest receptions. Okay. I'm actually really interested in this Nico, so let me look into this one a little bit more. Lucas Oil is a bowl. Game is in Indy, right? Yeah, so there should be no weather concerns here. Nico longest reception, I think, might be a go. Nico longest reception, I think, might be a go. Showing a 115 at Rivers. Everyone's like between 115, 125. I mean, we did this. They've definitely allowed the deep shots. Maybe. Depth chart. We're looking for quarterback. We're looking for with CJ Stroud. Yeah. I'm going to run this right now. I'm going to go run this at Rivers. Shout outs to all the likes and the retweets. Shout outs to everybody just now tapping in. Let me make sure I show love to those showing love to me. Shout outs to all the new ones are, man, I don't even know. So I'm just showing love to everybody. Props.cash, Miss Herway, Mom Who Bets, M. Night, The Sharp Side, George, Country Boy, Ross, Brett, Johnny, Shakir, George, Angel, CJ, and Snow Leopard. Appreciate all y'all for tapping in. Hopefully we can make some money together today. I am going to, we've only got 20 minutes till game start. I'm going to add CJ or Nico Collins at Bet Rivers. I got to do a lot here. So let me be quick. Okay, Nico Collins is out. Next. Oh, let me get this in here. My model number for Nico is just 26.5. Not a massive edge, but I still like it. What's his season average? 27.7 with Stroud this season. And I definitely don't rule out a deep bomb. All right, anything else in NFL requests before we get to the NBA? Kyle Pitts. Man, I don't know because I don't know if I trust. Is Kirk that guy or not? Like, let's go with Kirk. 2-2. Who's the matchup? Oh, the Jets. I would lean over, but I don't know. Kurt's getting old on me, dog. Cam Ward over his rush yards. Made a few weeks to use his legs. Jags defense has been pretty successful at getting 20+. Let's circle back to Cam. I have not bet on him. Similar to the NBA, kind of. Maybe not so much, to be honest, but I don't bet a lot of rookies, man. I don't know if it's just like a personal thing. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't bet a lot of rookies. 33-37, 3-6 attempts. Looks like he had one really successful rush, the 20 yards, 14 yards in the previous one. He did say historically, though, historical lines, quarterbacks, Brissett 20, Herbert 21, Davis Mills 20, Patty 60, Stroud 22. Yeah, I lean over. What's his longest rush? Okay, you see these like 8.5s at FanDuel? Honestly, like maybe some lean there to his longest rush over as well. Might even like his longest rush more than his over 15.5. Can't Jags have the number one rush defense, which should lead to more dropbacks? No, I agree. And the rush does help for a breakaway. I still think I would lean the longest rush, though. Alec Pierce. You know what? Actually, I did. I picked him up in fantasy right after the trade, and man, but what worries me is how does Danny Dimes look? How does Danny Dimes look? Did y'all see him in practice? Dude was hobbling out there. So I think you would have to need some yards after the catch. I don't know if he's airing it out deep. I think the game plan today is get it out of his hands as quick as possible. I would take this any other week, but because of the quarterback injury, I will stay off. Nick Chubb, he honestly leaves a sour taste because I drafted his ass. And now, I drafted him in like the 15th round. So, Anthony Simons, okay. Sold the parlay yesterday, although both of them did. Are they playing drop? If they're playing drop, you know about it. Nick Chubb, no opinions, dog. I know I'm on Chubba Hubbard right now, but like Nick Chubb, I mean, I've just not had good luck with him this season. Got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. If you got a good read, run it, but I don't have a good read. Fairburn field goals. Where's that game at? Yeah, if you want to play it on a sports book, you're going to pay a premium. But I do like him to get 2+, especially if you're on a DFS site. Puka Nacua longest reception. What first thing that comes to my mind is, are they? Oh yeah, Carolina's got a solid defense too. Although longest passing touchdown, longest pass, looks like they have been vulnerable to some shit over the top. 13th in passing yards, but longest pass, 29th. Let's go see some of these historics. Jawan Jennings, 40. Okay, I was going to say, good Lord. Jawan Jennings only had a 12. London, 41. 62 from Olave, 52 from Watson, a 30 ball from Dobbs, 54 from Shakir. Looks like they have been susceptible to some big plays, but I'd probably just stay off of this one in general. Kyren Williams, rush and receiving. Hold on, let me go to my model because I think I liked something here. Okay, 16.5 is my receiving yards. Let's go look at some historic running back performances. CMC 53, we cashed this. We had 2 bets last week. I think we had one on Monday night. We cashed this one, which we're on again today. 4 straight RBs have gone over their receiving yards line. Let me go to the Prop.Cash mobile site. We're getting close to kickoff, so I got to go. Let this man get to his NBA picks. Hey, y'all know where the bread's at. Y'all know where the bread's at. Fuck. Derek White is out. Fuck. I should have bet. Fuck. Damn. Second play on the sheet. Y'all probably can't read this shit. Jaylen Brown. Over 27.5. I was just waiting to see what the market did. I knew it was a possible rest spot, though. Fuck. I should have just bet it and forget it. I'm sure it's gone now. Damn. All right, good news. Kyren Williams was the last NFL request. I am going to get to the NBA. NFL's kicking off in 15 minutes. Bro, you called that shit. You really did. I said we'd be looking at it, but damn. Hold on, let me get up to date with this injury news. See if anyone else done tapped in. Let me get my likes and my retweets out if anyone else did tap in. Hey, man, appreciate all the comments, too. I be trying to reach back out to all y'all. That really helps the engagement. So shout outs to the real ones. All right, no new likes and retweets. Do I have all of the NFL plays out? Did I get Nico on the banner? Yes, I did. All right, we are transitioning into the NBA now. I do have 2 bets. First game doesn't start there until 3 o'clock, I want to say. Houston, Utah, I believe is 3. Let's double check that. I can delete this. And let me open this. Houston is at 3, and then, no other start until 6. Let's start on that Houston game, and then hopefully by the time we get to Boston, some things have reopened. I just can't believe I didn't bet Jaylen Brown already. Yeah, we'll see where he reopens. All right, starting off with the Houston versus Utah game. Kevin Durant should be back. Was not anything injury related. He was dealing with personal stuff. Hopefully he got that taken care of and all is good in the Durant household. That being said, he will be back tonight. So just keep in mind with any of my projections, or if you're looking at last fives, or he only missed 2 games, but just keep in mind he is back and he will be eating up some of that usage that was to spare. Let's go Houston, Utah, and just go through individually. Alperen Sengun, my model numbers are 19.74. Market line is 21.5. My rebounds number is 7.25. What's the market number there? We might be looking at a PRA under. Yeah, that's what I assumed. I know they allow a bunch. Hasn't played this year, but over in 4 straight. No interior. I would prefer if Adams started. Hold on. I didn't really check the underdog stuff. Any Steven Adams news? Lakers, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the like. Let's make some money together. Any Marcus and LeBron are both ruled out. That's cool. Steven Adams is questionable. If Adams goes, are they going double big with Durant? See, it's hard for me to even know about Amon-Ra until I have an idea if they're going double big or not. I think the software I use to pull starting lineups had him in the starting lineup. Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen, though. Hasn't been a big difference this year with or without. They are huge favorites. I'm at 6.16 assists in my model. So PRA, we can play under 37.5, a couple 38.5s hanging around. What do I make that number? 33. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. I make it 33. Do I bet this? Do I bet this? Houston's interior is just awful. That's the reason you don't bet it. I like it, man, but if you see the red zone targets that Devontae gets, it's just hard to bet on anyone but Puka in that game. Damn, Sengun PRA's under. I'm not gonna run it because Utah's interior is just trash. This is the game he only played the first half. Less of the offense should flow through him, but yeah, I like that at the boosted price, bro. I like that at the boosted price. Lean under Sengun, but leave it in under just because of the interior for Utah. Kevin Durant, I'm at 24.5 points, 2 threes, 4.5 boards, 3.5 assists. Went through his lines this morning, didn't really see any edges. 24.5, so slight lean under here. 4.44, so nothing really. And then I think where am I at? 3.35. So maybe a slight PRA lean under for KD, especially the line getting away from them. But we'll look at that, Bradley. We'll look at that. I'll probably take it. Nothing official for Kevin Durant. Again, first game back from a small break, about 9 days. Adams is questionable. Keontae George is one that is the first thing I have wrote down on my sheet from this morning. They're mostly all painted at 19.5. There are a few 20.5, but almost all books are sitting at 19.5. Nice. Huge. Yeah, I love both of those lines now. Keontae George. They're like 15th. Yeah, 15th versus pick and roll ball handlers. 23rd even in transition. I don't think these two teams have played this season. No. What are his field goal attempts sitting at over the last 5? 18. He did have a dud there of only 10. Very efficient versus OKC. I project him at 18 field goal attempts. So the fact that we can get 19.5 points. Yeah, see, I'm way over this number as well. Yeah, Keontae over 19.5 points. Feels right. Only thing that would keep me off of this is it is a massive blowout spot. Definitely a blowout spot. Rubber Band Rah Rah, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. Country Boy, appreciate the retweet. Leaving this as a lean because blowout is wrote all over this game, but I couldn't talk you off of it for any other reason. Lean over the Keontae George 19.5 points. Lean under PRAs here, but would like to see his role next to Kevin Durant a little bit more. He played fairly well without him. Reed. Yeah, that's what I thought. They struggle versus spot up and from above the break, so I'd probably more lean RAs under for Reed Sheppard, but honestly don't want to bet anything. Model projections for Lauri are 25.23, so the slightest of leans to the over. I like his over assists too. Not a lot of books open yet, but like the over 1.5 assists. As I said, not a lot of books open yet. Might run it though if there's enough. DraftKings, Fanatics. Hold on. If this is at MGM, I'm betting it. At minimum, I'm betting it. Players. Okay, yeah. Definitely bet Lauri Markkanen over. Definitely bet Lauri Markkanen over. Definitely bet Lauri Markkanen over 1.5 assists at MGM. Let me do what I got to do. Okay, let me get that out. Love that, love that, love that, love that, love that. Add that to the banner. And then let me just add my 2 other NBA plays in here. And then as we get to them, I'll go over them. Karl Anthony Towns. Under 35.5 PRs. That was at FanDuel. And Chet Holmgren. Under 9.5 assists. No. Rebounds. And that one was at ESPN. And we'll get into those more as we get into those games. And then I did add Laurie, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Pretty big slate. I mean, we got NFL and NBA, though. So you see what I sent you? Okay, I'm streaming. So just a regular 100 and then a boost if you got it. All right, I appreciate it. All right. All right. Roy Markkinen over. Good to go. We move. Miss Herway, I see your Amon double-double. It makes a lot of sense in the matchup. It makes a lot of sense in the matchup. The 2 fears I have is blowout potential. So let's see this. No, I don't think that's happening. But what about this? Still 1, blowout potential, and then Kevin Durant's return, although he hasn't had one with 10 assists, actually it might make it a little better, to be honest. Podol ruled out. Fuck. I don't like my Karl Anthony Towns under as much. Turk, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. Doesn't mean I hate it. Just means I don't like it as much. Honestly, do I like it better because that bitch might be a blowout? Maybe. Amon rebounds at 6.5 individually opposed to the double-double. Yeah, I kind of like this better. Double-double might be like your ladder on the way up. But, yeah, I do like the 6.5 boards. I make it 9.25. Man, KD doesn't change it that much. I might run this right now, 1 unit, not to win 1 unit. 1 unit on the over 6.5. I got a 132 at Rivers. I've got a 137 at DK, 135 at MGM and Hard Rock, 139 at Caesars, 133 at Prop Builder. So basically, you should pay somewhere between 132 and 137. Everyone should be able to get those numbers. So I just reduced risk to 1 unit. I mean, I shouldn't. The edge is such that I should bet 1.5 units. Do I bet 1.5 units? No, because it's a blowout, but you still bet it. 1 unit. Just had to talk myself through it. Rivers. Ms. Herway, that would be how you ladder this opportunity, though. If you think he's going up, you could bet like a little change on the 8+. And then just bet the double-double. Reducing risk to just 1 unit because of the blowout risk. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Let's get it. All right, Amon Thompson is bet. I love the rebounds. Model loves the rebounds. And that will do it for this game. Moving on to Boston versus Cleveland, if we can. Let me give this a refresh and then go over here and see if we're mostly back open. We do look to be mostly back open. All right, so let's 28.5, 130. A lot of other books are at 29.5 on JB. Peyton's line is like 16, 17. Definitely could see some increased usage out of him today. First game without Derek White this season, however. Slight lean over to Peyton's points, but nothing official. Now, if the RAs have moved, let's talk about the RAs. I am at 5.9, almost exactly 10. 9.5 is plus money. Let's go shop around. Looks like it could even go 8.5. Not what I meant to do. Lean over RAs, but nothing official. I'm not backing that. Garland, I did want to run under points, but now with them being a little more short-handed, honestly a little more afraid to run it. We do have Darius. We do have some books moving to 15.5, which makes sense to me. I make the line 14.71. I do lean over his assists, however. Boston is 6th in assists allowed per game, though. I'm intrigued by what I see in his last minutes at 33. Cleveland is now a 8 to 8.5 point favorite. I think I'm going to run Garland under. Nah, I'm not. I'm not because of the minutes going up. I lean it very, very strong, but I'm not. I'm a chill. You know, he just played his first 33-minute game back. He very well could go on to average. Like, look at his last year averages, even without Donovan Mitchell. We're also down Jared Allen last year with Donovan Mitchell. 75% hit rate, right around 19 points, maybe even better in the regular season, slightly. I'm not on I want to lean under, but minutes could go up today, so I'll stay off of Garland. Points. The assists is very intriguing to me. Like 6.5 is a good number. They are 6th in assists allowed. Yep, that's what Props.Cash has them at as well. $14 and $15 potentials in his last two. Minutes could go up. Losing Allen does hurt a little bit to the pick and roll. I'll give you that. Allen is a good roll man. I'll leave them both as a lean. Really strong on each, though. Over assists, under points for Darius Garland. Mobley, when I originally looked at these lines this morning, I was like, oh, wow, I love all these unders. And then, Jared Allen's out. So I had to change my approach there a little bit and really just think Mobley's probably at an efficient price right now. Jaylen Brown, this 28.5, I still find really tempting. He's struggled in back-to-backs this season, though, admittedly. 15 reduced minutes as well, Maybe Boston's been dog shit in back-to-backs, and that might be a real possibility. Let me go check that out. Okay, 2 big wins and 1 huge loss. You do not get an accurate representation, I think, from these 3 games because each of those 3 games have been 20-point games. Lean over Jalen Brunson. I'm praying this comes back to 27.5. 28.5, I think it's a strong lean over, but I'm not going to run it, at least not yet. Now, if you see it added on the timeline later, do not be surprised. Hold on, let me see. Do we have any news here? Tim Major, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. Keontae George is available to play. He was questionable, is available to play. We're probably circling back and running that over at the end of stream. Probably circling back and running that over at the end of stream. No one respects my money like Donovan Mitchell respects my money. Only 15 points in the previous matchup this season. That was in 32 minutes. They did lose that game by 20. However, I don't see that same scenario, especially with Boston depleted coming off of a back-to-back. I love his 3-point attempt volume as of late. He had 5 threes in that game on 9 attempts. Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown, already cashed. Crazy. That man is crazy. I have a 123 over at DK right now on Donovan Mitchell's threes. And it's moving up. It was 116. Nobody has respected my money like Donovan Mitchell has respected my money this year. He gets up for the home crowd too, apparently. Man, I like him and JB both. Ran his threes. Yeah, I like his threes at DK. I'm kind of deciding right now if I want to go points or threes or if I go a half a unit on each. I might go risk or to win a half a unit on each of those. Interesting. A-Chain's longest rush already hit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If y'all don't mind, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Just let me talk shit on the timeline for just a second. Shout outs to, I believe, Miss Herway, with the recommendation. Shout outs, Miss Herway. I do believe that was her recommendation. And we ran that bitch. That was fire. Was that Miss Herway? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Shout outs. Shout outs. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. A lot of these plays come from the requests, and I might have missed over them. So definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. Cashing before we finish streaming. That shit's fire. And shout outs to Bradley for tapping in on that. Shout outs to Bradley. We played that at FanDuel. That's right. FanDuel better run me my bread. Let me see if they paid me yet. Man, I'm checking to see if they paid me. That shit already just settled. I ain't got my bread yet. Y'all let me know if you got your bread yet. Yes, sir. We cashing. All right. Lean over Devontae. Thinking Devontae Adams now. Donovan Mitchell threes. Actually, low key, I might just run this bitch. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's run it. 123 at DK. 123 at DK. Let's run it. Let's run it. Let's run it. Let me check. The 4+ is minus 123. The over 3.5 is minus 123. They're the same either way. Yep. I like the points as well, man. Good pivot, but yeah, definitely like Donovan Mitchell's threes. He has been an absolute cash cow for us this season. Boston also 15th in three-pointers made allowed, one of the few areas they struggle defensively. So, yeah, love that Donovan Mitchell. Let me check something. If I go to here and then to here and then search Simons. I do like Simons to hit 2+ threes today. That 3+ number, though, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it. All right, moving on from that game, Toronto versus the Knicks. All right, I did run Karl-Anthony Towns PRs under. Line hasn't really moved. I don't like it as much without total, the under. But I do like that this game could get ugly. Knicks are now like 8.5-point favorites at home, 8.5. I'm hoping for it. Looks green as hell, right? Like it looks great. Without Podol, that's going to worry me a little bit. They were 9th in PRs allowed the centers, so I like it a little less now. I would still run it. If I hadn't already, I'd still play it, but just like it a little bit less than when I started off this morning going over these games. Boom. So yeah, Rand Towns points and rebounds under, PRs under, not points and rebounds individually, PR under. Jakob Poeltl now out. Which means games could get ugly. This is not the same Knicks team as last season where you saw guys get ran hella minutes. We're in a different era. He did run 39 last night, which was like close to his average. He's averaging 34 this year. So definitely a difference. I'll give you my model numbers, but I'm afraid to run the over. Model is at 30.25, so lean over points. Pretty strong. I do lean under his RAs as well. DraftKings did just move to 34.5, so that's at least some sign that the market's going our way on Towns. Brunson, market is like painted, painted 28.5 on the points. The assists, I do remember looking at this morning. If I get 6.5, I'm nuking it, but right now it's 5.5. Super juice to the over. If I can get in under 6.5 assists, I will take it. But until I see that number, I'm just going to stay patient. As you can see, though, the 5.5 super juice to the over. Do lean over the points. I do think there's a possibility this game gets ugly. Yeah. Anyways, Jalen Brunson over assists. I'm sorry, under assists, over points. Damn, Nico with a 21-yarder. All right, let's get another. Those dudes sometimes scare me, though. I know you don't do steals, but Mikal Bridges 1.5 is green. I'll at least look at it. Quickly's line is 18.5, huh? Only 3 games. Yeah, 3 games without Barrett. I make the line 15-4. Lean over his RAs. Yeah, now we're talking no Podol and no RJ. I mean, I do like the quickly under stuff. Under points, I lean over his RAs. Let's look at the RAs. Definitely lean under his points. I guess Podol could take away from their 9th in assists allowed. 5.5 is juicy, but you could even just run it at 1 unit of risk. There were like 120s and 130s when I ran the model this morning, so the market's definitely gone up on quickly. Looks like I missed the best price, but you could just reduce risk, and I think there's still value. Looking into it quickly over his assists. And let's see if his RA lines move, because I do lean over there as well. Don't like the 10.5. I was hoping we'd get a 9.5. That'll show you how far Fanatics 9.5 145 is off market. I do lean over his RA, feeling the assists a little bit more, although I do think there's a chance they get smoked. There's at least a chance. There is at least a chance they get smoked. Over in every game they lost by 10 or more this season, his RAs. I've got the Rockets game off the board. Is it just the Keontae George news, or did I miss something? I don't see why that would take it off the board. Not sure what's going on in that game. If you hear, bump me. And I've got all Toronto props down on Rivers right now. Interesting. I guess that's the total news. Lean over assists for Emmanuel Quickly. I want to see where some other books open at before I just run and bet it. Over assists, under points for Emmanuel Quickly. Both pretty strong leans. Both could be later ads. Toronto versus the Knicks. We're back at it. Miles McBride. I'm a WVU guy, but I just don't see the value in the points at least. I don't see the value in the threes either. He has been chucking, but no, I don't see it. Scotty Barnes, in the last two without RJ, been going dumb. 18 in that first one in a difficult matchup. I know I'm not mad at a Scotty Barnes sprinkle on the double-double. I do think, at plus 230, I probably some value on the Scotty Barnes double-double. I like his rebound chances with Poto out. Do lean over Scotty Barnes boards. That's going to be about the only thing I have, though. Brandon Ingram, I went through this morning. Everything was basically right with market. I do think I saw edges for Josh Hart. I do. At about 16 and a half here. Raptors are just 8th in assists allowed, however. Really, really high conversions on these two, but 13 in that one. I would lean over PRAs for Josh Hart, but I'm not going to make that an official play either. We're just going to leave that as a lean. Josh Hart RAs over. Mikal Bridges. Steals. Yeah, he had definitely been crushing this line. And then, versus Toronto, I definitely like the matchup. 143. Yeah, I like it as a straight bet or a lay piece. Definitely appreciate the gym. Definitely like the Mikal Bridges looks. All right, moving on from the Toronto versus the New York Knicks game. Let's get into Atlanta versus Philadelphia. Is Porzingis still out? Porzingis is out. Trey's still out. Embiid now questionable. Drummond questionable. We had that little knee injury. And then Edgecombe also a game-time decision for Philly. A lot of question marks in this game. Okongwu's threes, they've already beat it to there's 160. Yeah, 180 now. So no value there. Do lean over his points, but not enough to run it. Don't like his boards in this one. I mean, I'm interested to see where Maxi's points are because, I'm going to like the over basically no matter what. Let me check something out. NBA, Philly, Atlanta, props. Maybe. Embiid playing could even be good to take some of the pressure off of Maxey because in his reduced minutes, he's actually been incredibly efficient. There's a 27.5 at Hard Rock, 28.5 at FanDuel, but they're super juiced to the under, so I think it's coming down. I'm not running Jalen for a hot minute. He got to show me something. Jalen got to show me something before I trust his ass again. Maxey lean over 27.5 points. Let's go through everything, though. So points, I make it 31. Way lean over, even with Embiid. RA's not really as much of an edge, in my opinion. And in threes, I see no edge at all. So Jalen, no. Tyrese Maxey over 27.5. Definitely like that as a lean. You know, like a 25-plus lay to me could be Brown, Mitchell, Maxey. I like that at 25-plus. Brown, Mitchell, Maxey at 25-plus I could get behind, especially if you're at plus money. So just thoughts there. Paul George, what's his RA line at? 6.5. Nothing official for Paul George. Nothing official for Paul George. I can just tell you by looking at it. Jalen Johnson going to the model. 23-3-4 on his points. No edge, if at all, a slight under. Rebounds, again, slight edge, but I'm at 9.61, so you're playing a juice 10.5 to the under. Assists, I'm at 8.34, so basically right with market. Dyson Daniel boards. Let's go to my model first. Rebounds. Yes, I am at 7.22. I do lean over Dyson Daniels RAs, although not quite enough for me. I prefer a slightly larger edge, but I do lean over here. (22nd) in rebounds allowed. DraftKings and Caesars are at 121 and Rivers at 122. So that means DraftKings moved opposite of the way I thought because they were at 134. Has FanDuel moved opposite? Have to be a lay piece, Miss Your Way. Have to be a lay piece for the price for me. Okay, good to go. Should be a competitive game as well. And let me rerun my model real quick because, oh shit, I didn't deploy this. I don't think I deployed this. My fault. I think I'm going to have enough of an edge at the minus 121. Lines moved against me a little bit. If I don't play that, I would say at minimum 5+ is a great lay piece. Say at minimum 5+ is a great lay piece. And at minimum, let me write this down as well. Three and 3 on the leans yesterday, which makes me feel good because we bet the ones that I really liked. One second, I am shopping Dyson Daniels, Atlanta Hawks, Dyson Daniels, rebounds, yeah. I think I got to play the DK. 121. That's like right where I need it to be. Or we can go 6+ in a lay. Either or. Did they play this season? No, but he did have 10 in the last matchup. Yeah, I got to run it. Dyson Daniels over. He killed us the last time we ran him, though. He hooked us. 5 in the first. It was the same thing. We needed 70 at 5 in the first, and he didn't get it, man. I'm going to stay off. Dyson Daniels, but it's a great read. I mean, it's the right side of it if you want to be on it. OKC versus Portland. Low-key, really just want to skip this. It's like an 11 or 12-point spread. OKC, yeah, 11.5. Make sure this isn't underdog news. Oh, A-Chain just got smoked. Okay, a lot of underdog NFL. Nothing new in the NBA. No, nothing new in the NBA. Okay, we keep moving. OKC, yeah, this game is ugly. Large spread. I will say I'm tripping. I did run Chet under 9.5 rebounds. There's still a lot of 9.5s out there. I definitely got a better price, but this line does seem to be on the move towards the under. I think I laid 125. I might have been at 130. Yeah, I got 125 this morning. Let's shop around. Yeah, there's still 131 at DK. So, yeah, I still like this. 130 still available at Hard Rock even. Like I said, I laid 125, but 130 still good to go. Love the Chet under his rebounds. Pretty self-explanatory, especially with a win of 10-plus points today. We could see some reduced minutes. So, yeah, love Chet under his 9.5 boards. If I were to attack anything in this game with it being with the potential of blowouts, I think I would want to run unders. That being said, I love Shai's points over. The model does. If you wanted to run that, however, I would preferably run the 30+ in some kind of like parlay. You'll see these things from time to time. He did this last year. There's been other players. I don't want to talk about it too much because they're edges that I take advantage of. But there are certain players that play in really tight sets, and Shai's one of them. So 30+ is definitely mispriced at -152. Very, very far from fair. I'll have it in a parlay, but there's just some things everybody can't have because if you tell everybody, then everybody bets it, then the books correct it, and your edge is gone. That's all I have in this game. I'm going to move on. I'm sorry. I don't really bet blowouts, and the results speak for themselves this season. I'm not even trying to be cocky with that statement. I'm just saying you got to know when to attack and when not to attack, and that's a spot for me not to attack. I would absolutely run this run this Rudy under if Wemby played. Model leans under PRs. That being said, I'm afraid to run it versus San Antonio. I think they're starting Luke Kornet. Let me go. Let's see what RotoWire has to say. Yeah, it looks like Luke Kornet slated to be in that starting spot. Not so worried about it. Gobert versus Kornet. So going to stay off Gobert's unders, but do lean under. De'Aaron Fox, lean over. I'm about 26 points here, only 15 in the last game versus Denver. Before that, he was smoking without Wemby. Lean over, but it's not enough to get me to the window. Let's go talk about his assists, however. 7.11. What's the market price? 6.5. Yeah. I do lean over here. What are they in assists allowed? 9th. Good defensive team. Lean over De'Aaron Fox points and assists. They're not like super high on either. I'm not like super high on either, but do lean over. So model does lean over for Devin Vassell here. Oh, let's talk about Randall first. Cashed his under PRs yesterday. Let's see where the model comes in today. Rebounds, actually a slight edge to the over. Points, still seeing a slight edge to the under, but nothing actionable. So even though we just cashed on him yesterday, Market has corrected their line to what I deem to be efficient. We'll stay off of the PR unders. No, I'm sorry. We were on the PA unders for Julius Randle last night. I do believe either would have cashed regardless, but we were on the PA unders, and I see no value there today. We'll talk about Vassell and Anthony Edwards before we leave here. Model likes Vassell over his points. Kind of makes sense now while looking at it. Slight leans over to the rebounds and assists, but the points are definitely the strong lean. Volume's been great, averaging 13.8 field goal attempts without Wemby this season. That drops to 12.2 with Wemby. Harrison Barnes return. He's a forward though, so I don't know how that affects Castle. Model leans over, cooked in the last couple. I love Devin Vassell for 15 plus in LA. I love Devin Vassell for 15 plus in LA. Straight bet is close though. The straight is close. I like the RA unders for, I didn't look at Vassell's threes. Lean over his points. What about his threes? Minnesota's allowing the 6th fewest three-pointers made allowed. I'm just looking for reasons that I wouldn't want to take it. Yeah, 6th in threes allowed, 7th in attempts. Looks like guards have been getting them up, though, especially 2 guards. Number 1 ranked team versus spot up as well. It makes sense to me, but if I were wanting to back Vassell, I think I'd personally go points instead of his threes if I were backing Vassell. I want to run Edwards under his RAs. FanDuel has the best number. I don't think he's missed any time this year. Definitely lean under the RAs here, but I mean, I could see a blitz possibility where they try to get the ball out of his hands, but not something they're known for doing. That's why they allow spot ups. They're 10th in first pick and roll ball handlers, though. I'm going to lean under Anthony Edwards RAs and leave it as a lean. Points, I am at 28.74, so very small lean to the over in points and threes, and then a decent lean to the RA unders. That's going to be it for me, though, in the San Antonio game. Memphis versus Sacramento. 1 second here. 5 NBA plays as it stands right now. Rudy RAs. I touched on that a second ago. I liked his PRs, but I don't love it with the matchup. So I think I'm just going to avoid Rudy as a whole. Sacramento versus Memphis. The spread in this one is 2.5-point favorites for Memphis. Injury report, you still got Ja, Jerome, Pippen, Clark, Javion Smalls all still out. Schroeder's a game-time decision, and Sabonis is still out. Jaren Jackson Jr., I come in at 22 points, so slight lean under, but I do think the market's actually efficient on his points, rebounds, and assists. Just going to click through the model here and see what we find value in. We'll have to talk about Cedric points over before we roll. I like the role players here. I like Cedric and Jalen Wells on the Grizzlies side of the ball. Westbrook, I lean over PRs, but they're not huge edges. However, I do want to spend time on Keegan Murray. Okay, so we do have some things here. I want to talk about Cedric Coward, Jalen Wells, and DeMar DeRozan. I do lean over points and rebounds here for Westbrook. Points might be the best play, and I do think, what are they ranked in pace? Twelfth. This is number 12 and number 8 in pace. Keep that in mind when betting any unders. Number 12 and number 8 in pace. Lean over Westbrook PRs. Honestly, even just the points. I keep coming back to that PR line, though. We do have some 13.5s out there as well. What's the PR line at? 22.5. There's some 21.5s out there. Okay. We've got Shanty request and Schroeder request. Schroeder is questionable, but it's easy to bet on people that are questionable because if they don't play, they void, especially if you don't think if they play, they'll be on a restriction. Obviously can't play without himself. Hasn't played in about 5 days, which could just mean he missed the previous. Sauce Gardner won't return. Anything else? Is it all NFL news? Rockets will start Thompson, Shepard, Durant, Smith, and Sengun, but Steven Adams is available to play. That's good to know. Also glad I did not run Sengun since they're not going double big. I'm glad we stayed off of that. Schroeder RAs, I lean over. I think, did I have him in the starting lineup? I did not have him in the starting lineup. I almost want to see lineups before I play anything in this game. But I do lean over Schroeder RAs. I do lean over Westbrook PRs. I do want to talk about DeMar because I don't care who starts. I'm good with DeMar. And then Jalen Wells as well. Looks like games with 25-plus minutes, no jaw. He's cooked. Not really. Jalen Wells, I will tell you that the model leans over. He's had 2 back-to-back really good games. Model leans over for Jalen Wells. What about Cedric Coward? Hit a couple threes early. He's a rookie. I don't bet rookies. Okay, yeah, nothing there. Let's talk about DeMar, though. What are my model projections on DeMar? 18.64 points. Slight lean to basically just the points. Bijan Robinson, 25-yard run. Okay, that's good for fantasy. Trey McBride, 3 for 3 with 17 yards. But let's get a tutter. Trey. Possibly 2. DeMar has just really, really struggled in those last 10 games. I can't bring myself to back him. I'm at about 18.5. Lean over, no cigar. Pelicans versus Lakers. Not a lot of lines out. LeBron and Marcus Smart will both be out for this game. I like some Ayton stuff. Would you guys like to take a stroll with me on an Ayton double-double? It's scary. It's not a layup, but we can lay a plus 130. Four of his last 5 without LeBron. Only 1 for 4, and it was literally this exact same matchup. I know there's blowout road all over this, but Lakers don't be blowing people out. I'm a Lakers fan. I've been telling y'all all year. They don't win games by 10 or more points. But when they do, Ayton's got a double-double in 3 of the last 4. Plus 130. Plus 130. I do like the Ayton double-double. Let me check the Luka double-double. I'm sure the price is, yeah, $225. Love it in LA. Love it in LA. Honestly, tonight, no Braun, really shitty team. Rare spot. I don't know that I've even suggested this all year. Luka triple-double. Luka triple-double could be a decent spot versus the Pelicans tonight, especially if you're like me and think the Pelicans will keep it closer than 15. I really hope the Lakers win by 10, and I'm not paying that price. But I think Luka triple-double has some value tonight. And I don't say that very often. So Luka triple-double, definitely some value tonight. You know what? I mean, Derek Queen's minutes have been really crazy. But with a big like Ayton, I think if they let Queen go, it would be a really good matchup for him. Again, they've been weird with his minutes. 29 in the last matchup, though. They've been weird with his minutes, but what about an assist even? Yeah. Yeah, even the Derek Queen assists. I think PA's is a decent spot. It's a blowout, I'll give you that. So, like, there's some concern there. But I think he could have his way versus Ayton. I really do. Zion, I don't like this matchup for him. Rui, I do like this matchup for him, but the price is awful. Like at 150, probably a decent lay piece, but yeah, no, I can't be laying 188. I do like the 150 as a lay piece though there for Rui. Reeves' assist was a request. Over or under because I mean, my model leans under. Ask me if it's hard to play. Hell yeah, it's hard to play. Model absolutely leans under, but without LeBron, I mean, it's not looked good this year. I would just stay away from this. There's definitely some blowout potential. Reeves rebounds. I know the Pelicans don't have any bigs. Honestly, the rebound chances probably went up as his usage went down. I mean, it definitely shows that, but it's just a 3-game correlation. If anything, if I were betting anything on Reeves, I honestly think it would be points over. Giannis is probable for Monday. That's all the new news we have in the NBA. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like the Reeves points over look. Not an official play for me, but I would lean that way. Braun is out. Just keep that in mind. Jeremiah Fears, PRAs. Is that what the request was? Under PAs. Let me tell you 1,000% why I say no. Because even though Zion isn't on the injury report, I doubt he's playing the back-to-back. Still would lean that way. He had 22 in the last matchup versus the Lakers without Zion. I'm going to bet Zion doesn't go today. And then if you want to bet that under, I would wait and lay a better line because Trey Murphy also might not go. So while my model does agree with you, I'm going to wait to see the lineups and then maybe. So let's say Zion and Trey are both announced out and this line moves to like 20.5. I'm still probably running it then, but I don't want to have the 18.5 in my hand. And then they both get announced out and we finish with negative CLV. All right, let me give this a refresh. Now is your time. If you have any requests in any of the games today, run them back. I'm going to go back through some of the leans I had from this morning, see if those lines have moved, just kind of get an idea on where the market's at. First player I wanted to circle back to was Keontae George. Still pretty 19.5 to 20.5 across the market. Line hasn't really moved much. I still really like this over. He's cashed for us a bunch this year too. And what I like about him is he's still like a second option to Lauri. So Lauri does take away some of that defensive pressure. Harder to – you can't just scheme on Keontae, although he's been going absolutely stupid. And they're going to get smoked. Golden State on 11-24, played 37 minutes. OKC on 11-21, just 30. Lakers on the 18th, 35. If I get 30 minutes out of them, I love it, but it's just some definite blowout potential here. I think I'm going to leave Keontae George off just because of the blowout. But I definitely lean over. Next on my list was Jaylen Brown. I definitely want to see how the market's moved here. 29.5 painted now. I should have just bet the 27.5 this morning. Donovan Mitchell, I bet. Scotty Barnes under his assists. It was juicy. I think there was something else, though, that was like really pricey that I could have paired this with. And it was the under, not the over, 5.5. Yeah, like minus 141, like you see right here. Which is still available at DK. Let's hold on to that, because if we have something else that's juicy, we might pair it with it. It was Dyson Daniels. Rebounds over 6.5. It was the 5.5 that was juicy. Do I like those two as a pair? Like low key, I do. It'd probably get you to even money. Yeah, and that's basically the card right there. I would like to run a lay or two for the people. A lean lay. Which I might have it. Hold on. I might put together half a unit parlay similar to yesterday, with buying down a little bit on the leans from today. That would get me at Keontae at 18. JB at 25. That's already plus money. And Shea at 25 gets you at plus 154. Joel Embiid points. We can circle back and see what the minutes have been like. He's also questionable coming back from another knee issue. So, yeah, I mean, he's crushing it. Will probably be around 20 minutes tonight. He's got who? Atlanta. So face a Kongwu. They really struggle versus Rollman. I like the points, but the minutes is what will keep me off. I like the points, but the minutes is what will keep me off. I think I do have a little builder lay here off of my projections, and then we're going to call it a show. Gets us to plus 109. I'm going to drop the builder here real quick, and then we're going to call it a show, man. All these straights plus one parlay. Let me actually build this at FanDuel, make sure I'm getting the best price, and then I'm going to call it, man. What are we? Hour and 47 minutes deep, almost 2 hours deep. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Plus 106 at each book. 109 at DK. A little slightly better at DK. What I'm running is, let me run it real quick. All right, so what I ran is Shea 25 plus, Keontae 15 plus, Jaylen Brown 25 plus. Small little parlay, half a unit. Added that to the banner as well. Save, show. Cool. Any other requests before I jump off of here? Definitely could be some late ads based on injury news. And it's the NBA on a Sunday, so there seems to be injury news wildly late, so keep an eye out for that. Let me recap everything real quick, and then we will get out of here. This is NBA and NFL. Granted, some of this NFL has already started. Karl Anthony Towns under 35.5 points and rebounds. Chet Holmgren under 9.5 rebounds. Brian Thomas Jr. over 39.5 receiving yards. Devon Achane over 16.5 longest rush. We already cashed that. Nico Collins over 23.5 longest reception. Lauri Markkanen 2+ assists. Amon Thompson over 6.5 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell 4+ three-pointers made. And then the parlay, which I'm about to release right now. And I don't have Donovan 4+ in the banner. Let me get that in the banner. I know we talked about it, but I don't see it here. No, I don't. For anybody watching the recap later. All right, I'm going to call it here. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Best of luck tonight. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Until then, man, let's go.